Always great to hear from some of the pros here at PEL Phase 2 alongside a new gracious host, a gentleman that knows no bounds. It's Froz to my left-hand side. Great stuff there before, my friend. Very well done.
First time I'm doing stuff like that. So.
Yeah. Did you enjoy it?
It was fun. I'm a little bit nervous, actually.
What's your rating?
5 out of 7.
Perfect. I like that. I like that rating. Very good stuff.
Perfect 5 out of 7. I'll take that. I'll take that.
So great to hear from Vincere as well. It's not too common that we get to really kind of grind down on some of the finer details, I suppose, of some of these pros. Now, there are a lot of things going on in PUBG that some people might not notice at first glance.
Yeah.
I mean, there's also a lot going on in their head, like how they're thinking that you don't get to take a part of. And if you don't know what's going on, it's hard to you to try to understand, all right, why did they make that move, and not like just like take an easier way out.
And you might be watching like streams of some of the pro players or some of the very good players and see them do stuff that nobody else does. But doing that in competitive play as well, that is really taking to the next level. The fake smokes, everything you can do, like especially when you're breaching buildings and stuff like that, when the first guy goes the deepest, so the second guy can go in and sweep up and make sure that you get the refrag. All these little tips here will improve your own squad as well. But look at this, guys.
Yeah, indeed. ENCE has made the shift, and then now they are tied for 12th, 13th place. Of course, though, with kill benefit, they are technically 12th place so far over M19. If they continue on this path, they could create themselves a cushion between relegation and the
Exactly. They could take CrowCrowd's position on 11th there.
I want to see them continue. I want to see them get 2 more wins today and be in the 400 points club today.
Now you're being really optimistic here.
What are you talking about? That's not optimistic. It's 41 points in 2 games.
They're going to get the first record of having 3 wins in a day.
Yeah,
it's going to be ENCE.
It's Phase 1 ENCE.
Whoa. I've never seen Avenger be this optimistic. What's going on?
He didn't sleep enough.
I just talked to Squeaky.
He's delusional.
I literally just talked to Squeaky and it's like, that felt good. I felt good. We're back. He said we're back. He said we're back.
And
I believe.
You believe?
Yes.
2 more wins might
2 more wins ENCE.
Oh, well, all right. Calm down.
20 kills in both games.
All right, I'm out. I'll take my microphone off. Bye. These are our winners for today, of course. G2 and ENCE getting themselves Miramar, who will take Erangel, which is coming up next. Boys.
Look, it's a little bit all over the place right now, I feel like. The good teams aren't doing as good as they're supposed to do. The teams at the bottom of the leaderboard right now is starting to rise up a little bit because they're feeling the pressure. They know that they need to start doing something. At the same time, the middle pack not doing that much either. So it's kind of all over the place. This is anybody's game right now, I'd say.
Sure.
Jokes aside, if we don't have a melee game, I do think that we're going to see another ENCE win. After...
you think they got the ball rolling?
Yeah, I think they got the ball rolling, and I think the snowball effect is slowly getting there. I think they're taking it. I know it's a bit hotter now and everything, but they have a big snowball and they're slowly pushing it off the Stalpa Hill and the Stalpa Mountain, and it's going to start rolling.
Are you making cold Finland jokes?
So, okay, well, let's talk about the melee circles because we had a lot of them. We started to see
ENCE has not had a single really good game on
we got a lot of tendencies when it comes to the melee circles. We see Liquid, one of the first teams to rotate, take it to Westbridge. No, I'm not going to talk about that. But
why is nobody camping there?
That's one thing, right? Then we always see a lot of teams getting stuck on the East Bridge.
Oh, did you see that?
I didn't see it.
Oh, it was the southwest of military all the way up to Kameski.
Okay, but on the East Bridge...
But that's dangerous. This
Let Frost finish his point.
East Bridge is where all the teams are clumping up together and fight each other until they're in the blue, and they still keep on fighting each other. While the West Bridge is always open, and the teams keep on going to East Bridge. I don't know why they're not taking the West Bridge.
Yes.
West Bridge is definitely more open than East Bridge.
It's always open.
You know what I would like to see? If this is a melee game, I would like ENCE, because they're dropping the out of the plane, so they're going to be rotating loot faster than they usually do. And then they have done their research to see what buildings that Liquid is looting before they leave for the melee game. And then loot the other buildings that they haven't looted, and then rotate from there.
Look, as soon as the circle pops and it shows it's a melee circle, and should be rotating away from StarLadder straight to Pachinko, as you're saying. Because by then, Liquid will already be gone. They have almost not looted anything, so most of it will still be there.
So I did a bit of research with the 2D replays and everything. They're looting about 3 mansion buildings each. 3 mansion buildings. there's a lot more than that. You can loot all the small residential buildings, you can loot the big whites, you can loot the garages, the church, everything around that. There's so many buildings that is not looted there. So they're taking the mansion buildings and they're splitting out a little bit over there, but they're looting 3 to 4 buildings max each before they leave.
And I want to see a team like Reciprocity. They're going to drop on Millie Island. I want to see them take a position that they can actually play from, because right now I feel like every time it's a middle circle, we don't see them actually utilize that to their advantage on dropping there. They take good positions, but it's not a position that they can play from.
And as a slight tangent here, we do have Winstrike being shown right now. Tixu manages to break into the 100 kills barrier from that previous game, one would imagine, after seeing them getting in decent position.
If he's getting 8 more kills and the other guys don't get any, he has the same amount of kills as 2 of his teammates together. Oof, that is big.
Standout performance by Tixu, of course, here. Not as much discrepancy when it comes to the damage compared to, say, Tixu and Nuki, for example. However, Tixu still standing strong.
You also have to remember, though, that the way they're playing, the way with their long rotations, their edge play, and how they're, especially when they have hardships on them, they don't fight their way in. They rotate and take time away from fights to get into the circle. And at that point, they're getting kind of late to the circle and are not getting as much fights. So him having these stats shows truly how good of a player he is.
It's a good point. Very good point indeed. Another very strong player at the moment. Someone like Gustav. Wait a minute.
Oh,
who was he coaching before?
Another coach?
He was on Pittsburgh Knights before.
What's going on?
This is he is coaching all the teams today.
They're like, get away, we don't want you here.
Guys, we're 3 minutes behind schedule. If you want to blame someone, Mustache Dave talking to the players right now.
He's disturbing them. They're not putting their headsets on. They're not ready.
What's going on here? It's TSM having some problems, maybe.
Yeah, look, and Michael he doesn't have his shirt.
Wait, what?
He's playing in a
He's shirtless?
Yeah, he's playing a black t-shirt.
He probably forgot to wash his jersey.
Oh, maybe because he's been living at home until now, and now he has to wash his own clothes.
Oh, well. Yeah. I've known a lot of people through esports that have had to move away from home, and then they're like, oh, what do I do, Mom?
And I actually thought this was part of the deal with Yannick coming in, that he was going to take some of the household work as well. He's going to wash the guys' clothes.
Is a housemaid?
No, not a housemaid per se, but just make sure that they do these stuff because he's been living at home for a long time. But definitely exciting to see. Let's see if the snowball can be started to roll down from the Stelter Mountain.
I agree. Thank you, Avenger. And it's time to head over to our commentators as Avenger officially claims Yannick as the maid of TSM. Let's go, Pansy and Tim.
Well, maid outfit, all of that, fair enough. Whatever you're into, Martin, who am I to judge? We are getting ourselves into Erangel, and he also believes the ENCE are going to win everything. It's their time to shine. Meme review. I don't know why I'm clapping my hands. I'm excited. The Finns are back. Maybe.
My problem is the game that they won last week, they end up coming 16th after it.
Shut up.
We built it all up last time. This is the game. They're coming back. And
why did you dash our hopes and dreams?
Because I'm just being real here. We've built this up before, and then unfortunately they let us down. It just...
I've been hurt in the past.
It didn't happen. Hey, look, best of luck to them. And I like what Thrall's touched on, the fact that now CrowCrowd is the next target on their back. If they want to make sure that they are completely away from relegation, they have to jump another spot. Anything's possible. This is at least a decent playing path for them. Then get out and go to Stauber, the usual points. Martin mentioned the snow from Stauber. We're not quite on Vikendi just yet.
I want to see Vikendi. I know every pro player will hate me for it. I really want to see it.
Sanok's too small, but Vikendi could be good. And it would be fun. And it just add more, even more like diversity. You'd have the green pastures here of Erangel. We'd have the sun, the sand, and Miramar. And you throw some snow, a bit of nighttime mode in there.
Oh, I love a bit of the nighttime stuff. It's, oof.
I like it. It's good fun.
I just want to see it. For me, I think we've just had a very long pro league. A lot of games. Same 2 maps. I'd love to see a little switch up. New studio circles come in. Kind of centralizing over by Chopsticks, south of Gatka, however you want to call it. Going to be fun to see that one play out. Pretty rough for ENCE. Kind of on the other side if you want to follow that storyline. I don't know. I just want a bit of variety now in my PUBG.
It'd be good. I think we get the new Erangel update come in. That'd be fun. Get that one on. Patch 30 is a lot of fun as well. Various bits and bats. Certainly from a performance side, it just runs like an absolute dream. Everything about it at the moment, it's running beautifully for me anyway, at least. Get patch 30 in there. Oh, well.
Oh, poor old Snot. MBS with a crash landing. He wanted that one.
We get the Erangel update. Maybe get a new map in there. Obviously, we're just... It might be an unpopular opinion, but certainly a third one would be fun.
Look, people don't like change. If you ever met the internet, don't like much change. They like what they're set in, and I appreciate that. I just like to see how it plays out. Maybe like once or twice, just dash it in there. See how it plays.
I'm disappointed in the Deagle.
Oh, that is upsetting. I don't think you should like one-shot headshot like level 2s, but like a level 1, pop that off.
I'd be fine with it if it had like an unbelievably massive kick and reticle reset.
Oh,
like
it should
really
kick like a mule.
Really, really punishing. I also don't like the I prefer the big old .50 caliber. It would be lovely. Get rid of the revolver, make it a 7.62 gun.
Yeah.
Two tapping. You can even actually do it as the next crate weapon, just 10 bullets only, but
Oh dear.
NIP.
NIP, stop being so rude to the Knights. What have you got against them?
This is their territory. What are you boys doing here?
Yeah, NIP have kind of shifted around here.
This is because of the playing path, usual Georgia Paul players. But a question we could say is, and we're touching on this circle not being favourable for ENCE, we're following that story. That means Georgia Paul and surrounding areas will be open. So transition-wise, might be an easy entry point into the circle.
Someone's going to have to be a bit of a map genius to work out. Okay, the Knights are dying to NIP, so NIP are not in Georgia, but you know what I mean? Like, this is the sort of puzzle you can start putting together with these sort of more regular games where you see people playing the same spots over and over and over. You do get to work it out. I wonder if anyone can put that together. It may just be the knock-on effect of simply put... I literally thought a molly just appeared in shelter then. I looked away at the map, because we have the map in between our two monitors, and I just saw like fire. I was like, how has someone just randomly mollied one of the Knights? But not the case. That building's been on fire for a while. Someone should probably tend to it at some point.
Erangel update. It's finally doused. Doused it
out.
Reciprocity, not too bad of a circle for them. Being down south, crossing the bridge could be a different story altogether. They should look to get across early. Na'Vi never move from their position early. This is why Liquid are allowed onto melee circles so easily, to be fair. They've only ever been punished once. I remember at I think it was the Jokers who had to go at them when they're crossing the bridge, and Samty just turned around and slapped all of them. But that should be an easy entry point for Rec. Get across there. Na'Vi, no problems unless they leave it late. The longer they leave it, the more time Na'Vi has time to set up and prepare to receive them.
Yes.
Drop comes in just off to the side of Quarry.
Oh, hello. The observer's like, wait, it's on my screen. Hold on, no, make it smooth.
Find it. Find it.
Yeah, we'll be seeing these rotations. Map on map action. Winstrike going to get very central, not surprising. They kind of have the best pick of everything. They start out over that way.
That's a really strong play from them to take both Gatka and the chopstick houses.
Will they stick to that, though? I feel as though that's too far apart.
As you say that, they decide to regroup.
Yeah, I'd rather that be the case.
Are Liquid actually going to now take residency in where they've just left?
I'm surprised.
No.
I love an MK.
You want the 15 times. You could just beat somebody. No, you want to beat somebody with it. Just melee them.
Melee. Milady.
What?
Sorry. I'm losing my mind. All right. Team Liquid didn't go for Gat. I don't know where they're going. They're going for 1-1-2. I don't know where Jeems and Jempty are off to.
It's a questionable drive around. Pick somewhere, boys. Don't get greedy here.
They are being very greedy.
Yeah, which might not be the better player. I get it. They are hedging their bets on where the circle would be. But
not a fan.
If any of them come down from the mountains when you have CrowCrowd, raise your edge, potentially NIP, that might do school. If not, they'll go north. And same for ENCE, they're going north too. Individual single solo players could be in for a bit of a battering. Unless you're MBS, of course.
Wee.
I believe oh, it was a
little wobble.
Yeah.
Wobble on the landing, only a 7 in the PUBG Olympics. Looking for the dismount now. Cutting away.
From your posh background, I can imagine you like been into that kind of horse riding.
I'm not a horse girl. How dare you? How very dare you accuse me of that?
And here we see the gallop.
That's nonsense. I'm not having that. Absolutely not. It's like me saying, well, you're a northerner. You must like mining. You like a bit of Minecraft? Is that your go-to game?
Warcraft. There is a craft in it. Goldshire Mines.
I'd say, which one's your profession? I'm sure I can tell. We need to stop this. We're just talking about WoW now.
Soon. August. Anyway.
Classic WoW approaches. Wait till you see the dips in certain teams' performances. It's going to happen.
The August dip. Shadow, top of the hill. He's only got a red dot, but he might make it work. Enough damage. Brexaco Nudir in the background.
I just saved Chris there, honestly, or a couple of them.
Is he reversing at the same time? Oh, God, they're still defending plenty of these teams that are on transition, actually. That hill's... you're going to have to hope the circle comes your way. It is more towards the centre. The Knights, the last two remaining members of the Knights, actually. Top end of Pachinki. Praying something goes their way. TSM have actually been given a really decent compound. I'm surprised nobody's in there. That's a really, really easy drive for them. Another big wide split from Vitality, 2-2. G2 might decide to take one of these compounds from them. ENCE, we suggested they may go for the long split. They've got two people down at Cubes just watching it. They're not firing yet. They let NIP go because they know that NIP could basically turn around and hold them dead to rights. Hopefully none of them have been seen. We've seen this before with NIP where they've been on the opposing side of this circle, flip it up to the north, and they actually deny people at Cubes and then sent MBS to the middle bridge, and then he clipped people coming off there. So they let them go, they follow up. ENCE are now in. Raise your edge. It's a little bit late to the party. There's a lot of teams here. You're going to have to be prepared to take a fight, boys.
Yeah, I think CrowCrowd were considering going to Gatka, maybe. I don't know if that became an option. Ooh, there's a lot of fields down there.
Bit of water as well.
Yeah, okay, so the hill that kind of runs north of Quarry to the east is about to get filled with teams.
In before the two members of Vitality get pushed by all of G2, take them out of it.
Jazz and Shadow on the way, but...
Yeah, Vitality have got to move quick, because if G2 strike them, then they're going to be in trouble because there'll be a man down, or two men down, actually. Scratch that. This will be a difficult one. Vitality are in for a very big fight, I feel.
G2 are getting tagged all the time in these vehicles. It feels like they've been on the move constantly. And Rage Reg did get caught off there. It was actually Winstrike to find them of all teams. I think that was as they were trying to move away further south from the chopsticks, from Gatka. This is the hill I'm talking about that kind of runs, you know, it's that whole ledge that's north of Quarry and then runs east. It's got a lot of nice terrain to it, a lot of kind of interesting topography. The way the kind of land plays out is going to be interesting. But for now, what you can look at is that Na'Vi and Team Liquid are both in a very close position on it.
Do remember we took time to speak about the store. Is that Reels on his own? Yeah, Dredd is last man standing. This could be an early shower here for the Knights, unfortunately, in game number 3. Especially if it looks like someone else is shooting with the Tracer fight. Yeah, he's been spotted, that's it. Farewell, Knights.
They've had a horrible game, to be fair. And it's TSM who hounded them a hell of a lot through that.
I kind of want to fall back to what I was mentioning over. We talk about ENCE and their fight away from the relegation. Every time we see TSM getting a kill or Raise Your Edge dying early, for them, that's 5th place becoming more secure.
Yes. Yeah, it absolutely is. Speaking of ENCE, they are up in the north, not far off from DA. They're kind of sat across each other on the compound that's north of Chopsticks, the kind of one that splits across the road, so they're just sharing that one out at the moment. I'm sure they both have vehicles, so they can always adjust accordingly. And actually, all around Pachinki is pretty absent of players, so there's a lot of room to be had, but it's not ideal. Now, that Liquid Na'Vi fight is brewing. They're getting very close by. NIP have just gone around. Na'Vi do have that little bit of a hillside. I like playing over that. I think that's a really nice area. Jeems is being kept safe by that small defilade that just runs down a touch. If a doozy saw that, that'd be game over. But I don't know if they're going to commit that hard to the angle or if you're going to check that low. So we'll see if a doozy does it, goes through the motions. But for now, I'm more curious about the compound than anything.
I'm surprised the Knights actually moved to that position from Pachinki. Just sat there.
Headshot. Everything's a headshot with these guys.
I think with the bike, he was maybe trying to bait the engagement.
Look at Jeems. Slowly but surely.
They won't know he's there. It's an unorthodox position, especially to be peeled off from the rest of your roster. If they can get eyeline on where all of Liquid are, it will put into their mind, okay, Liquid's there, and you would not expect Jimbo just lurking on the edge. AWM. There's a free scope for you. That's a kit and a half. Gilly as well.
Oof.
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 Thank you very much. Cheers, Brandon.
No, it's actually Wacky Jackie just turned up in chat, so it's him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's kind of, he's on top of it, doing a little dance for them and brings down the crate to allowing, the people to feed. A kind God is our Wacky Jackie. Now, let's have a look at what we see in this circle move here. Ooh, I didn't expect that. I didn't think water was going to be kept in that long, but it has been, and it's not this circle to move it away. ENCE instantly in the cars are on the go, so they are just making a run for it. Mad dash move, just try and get to the same hill as Na'Vi, TSM, and Liquid, trying to get over there. But it's a risky run. There's a lot of teams not too far away.
Unfortunately, I can tell you now where a lot of them are going to be dying. Where G2 are, you run the long woods all the way, that goes down to Prim. That entire woodland area. You've got Rec, who've taken the backside of the broken buildings. NIP are just above them. Oh my, if you can bring the map up, this is just a complete migration.
Oh my God.
The fields are wide open. You can go to the fields, you can find yourself one of the brick shacks. You don't want to take the wooden ones because they can be run over, they are destroyable. And unfortunately, all roads lead to the Longwoods. You have the main compound that's taken by Vitality, so you've just got to set up residents. M19 are there. You've got G2 there. Everyone's just running into them. Na'Vi might be dead here. Yeah,
a doozy's just gone down. Where else are they going? Pokemon has no idea where to go. They're still driving around trying to find anything. ENCE are under fire. That's triply going down. You've got Mikas at least in one of the compounds. Senya is just going to have to pick somewhere. You might have to commit to this one. Yeah, he's pulled up. Mikas is in the middle of a nade, so underhands out the window, sprays him with the AK. At 7.6 up close, always just feels good, but the rest of Na'Vi are knocking on the door, and the CIS Giants steal that little shack away from him.
ENCE did peel away and split it, so they will at least stay alive. That's the backup plan for now. G2, for them, they're going to be fed players. M19 are here. One of them's knocked. They might make an offensive push on this and clear them out because they need two more. Will be arriving at this party, so the less damage you can, the more damage you can do, the less damage you will be taking from afar in a third-party scenario. Just an update on FaZe. They've opted to go center and also yellows on the cliffs all the way on the eastern side, so they'll have an emergency backup plan, being the yellows, being that eastern side. These grenades, though, they need to find a target. D-Mash is unfortunately running their way.
No. How's he alive? Chris is just magic. Absolute magic. And you've got a mortar strike going on in the old forest down here. And that's a little bit of vision. Oof. I heard that dink off the pan. It's not what you want, but Braxco Kane combining towards M19, who did well to find the kill up on Na'Vi, but or at least some of the Na'Vi players, and put some pressure on him, but can they withstand the rest of the pressure? You've got third parties coming in left, right, and center. Shiv is there. The SLR going to just work wonders at this point.
Bridge Ridge also is on that side road. The added advantage that Reciprocity have is the fact that no one get behind them. The real danger is NIP, but they're up on top of the hill, and they won't be seen for now. Once they come down from there, they will do. But Reciprocity's buildings at the front, they're a priority. They give him a level 2 seizable advantage of a bit of distance. Unfortunately for Udia, it's problematic. And thankfully now for Chris, been out in the fields, that keeps G2 alive. He's dead as soon as I see that. Uber sees him. Bye-bye G2, 15th place, circle updates, and we are going to the fields.
I hate these endings. I hate them so much.
It's so rough because you just get people sat in little buildings in the middle. You can see there's a whole long dirt track that runs through just the northern side of it.
I love the MK. It's such a good gun. DA are in the killing fields, quite literally at the moment.
He's got a
bit of attention.
Put it in the door. Put it in the door.
Oh, the bodies go flying.
He actually threw it out. It was a good attempt. And hit the back of the building.
Lovely dismount there from DA. 9.5 for the Turkish side.
You're too good at this.
I know, I could make a career. When I eventually get fired, it's lined up. NIP gonna try and make them run, and the body's still. Oh my God, the pre-nades worked. And Squeaky's got the follow-up on Gaxi. How are they getting away with that? Surely that is going to be all she wrote. Finally, NIP pushed through, and ENCE go down in 13th. That's a bit of a shame.
5 smoking vehicles at the front of that little shack. Good Lord, that pre-nade. He just drove over a landmine. Dastish with the AWM in the kill feed. Keep an eye on that one. Still overpeak from Shiv. That's good. That's a lovely response to CC. They're down to 1. Rec have pushed out onto this. This is good movement from them. If they can take control of this, the only team they have to worry about, actually, no. I'm talking rubbish. There's two teams.
So
M19 in front of them, Unity in front of them. Raise your edge in the back lines. They haven't raised an eyebrow yet. They're not fired a single bullet. All these teams will not know they're there.
Referee, control it. And here we go. The clash truly beginning. M19 trying to opt further north, but Reciprocity are meeting them on the way. These shots need to be landing crisply. Shiv looks like he's up to the task. Still got nades, still got utility, but the kills are being stolen from him. It's Unity getting them in their pocket. Orange is the one to do the damage. Elite players looking for a new way through, trying to back away from this. But Rock on a hard place. Here comes Menox, here comes Chris, but Reciprocity have no idea that the team's behind them. Scoom, none the wiser. Rafi Haksedi, all the shots whizzing past as Menox and Chris just try to not make a singular sound. Maybe going to have to be forced into the action soon enough.
Rafi down but not out. Time to heal. Menox just preparing. They might just be inside this circle so they can hold for now. Scoom is potentially checking for if someone wants to try and flank them on their left-hand side. Just POV from the opposing. One time to strike. There we go. Chris with the first knock. Now they advance forward.
Hack said he with the trade.
Shut down instantly. Hax gets drilled from afar. Rafi turns on a pinhead. Shuts down Raise Your Edge. But Rec, they're damaged.
Yeah, they are in all kinds of trouble. Shiv is on basically save the day duty, do what he can. Orange with the nade. That could maybe trickle down towards Elite player. It was close, but no cigar. The spray ain't bad either, but this is still such a brutal fight. We're going to have Winstrike in a bit of a situation in the north. Constantine did get caught off that mini, so accurate. And it looks like Reciprocity are just about starting to recover now.
Orange edged against the vehicles, and takes Constantin with it. Blast on from a distance. We'll now have to back off. That's a nice tap for 83 to the forehead. All four players of Rec alive. That's good for them. Certain scenarios we see time and time again, they get unlucky. A random nade, a random player just breaks their economy. Takes one or even two players down. We saw it yesterday with the YOLO nade, which took out the vehicle and took them down to 50%. They do have to keep going on the road that they have ahead of them. It's safer than the north, to be fair, because everyone in the north is just going to have to scamper for these last remaining shacks and try and do something. You know, it's a really strong position here. FaZe. That, like, ridgeline, that's the hillside that's just above. I mean, Vitality, don't get me wrong.
Vitality are the kings of the hill right now.
100%, but in terms of no one's behind FaZe, everyone's going to have to fight them.
And even if they were behind, look at Uber's positioning. It's really smart. He's kind of holding, exactly. Yeah. He's the early warning signal. If someone's going to try and come around that way, he can provide an off angle. It's dangerous for him. He may not be able to survive much longer, but at least he kind of serves a greater purpose for now. Vitality still not exactly kicking off on the kill feed, but they're doing just fine. They're holding compounds. They don't need to overpeak. They don't want to risk that.
Quiet for now, Elite player. Rock in a hard place. Unity one side, Reciprocity the other. I'm intrigued to see how many Rec come out with here, because once they do this, they have to tackle FaZe Clan head on. It's the only way forward.
Here comes Winstrike. They do have Nookie and the boys in a bit of a shack, and there is this little bit of a ridgeline. It might be prone time. We have Team Liquid trying to make the run. TSM spot them, as do NIP, and the remainder of Na'Vi will see this too. Team Liquid are in bad positions. They're going to have to fight in towards hard cover here. Never going to be easy. Forced on the wide angle. It's not going to be a trade. It's not available. It's NIP and TSM combining, and there's the bombardment towards Samty. He's had to hit the deck, try and hit the prone, try and get the heal off in time because his teammates have just been shredded.
Such a great position here for NIP. They took it away from ENCE. And now they can hold all these teams on the ridge line. On the west, two members of Na'Vi. Up in the north.
Samty's nade just got one. Samty's
on the push. Did he get it inside?
I don't know, and I don't care. This guy might have a chance because Rory's knocked and Gustav is the only man standing right now. Samty's hitting that lean, slow creep forward. He's got himself this, but he does take the shot towards Michael. Now he's open to potentially a trade, but he's going to play the smoke well. Plays it further forward. He can maybe find Rory, but he doesn't know this information. The nade's going to put him back, keeps him away. Big nade from Gustav.
He's got to go. This shack is not going to be in. Continue the run. Gustav will just hold the ridge line. Meanwhile, TSM, no rest for the wicked. Winstrike is sweeping and clearing. Finish off the point. That's fine. Nade comes up and over. Looking towards the Winstrike players. Ops to disengage from this one. Honestly, what else can you do? Take this because you might just lack a line of sight and you may be able to hit a bush and just survive.
Snake time. Yep.
What else can you do?
No, nothing at all. Gustav now, he's made noise. He's trying to get Wookie back on his feet, but Winstrike are knocking on that door. and they are just about in.
Whoa.
And it's gone south. Now, again, all of the teams in the north, I don't see many of them having vehicles. There were some by TSM Shaq, but Gustav just received the pointy end of Temi's gun there. That's going to hurt a whole lot. Wookie just got back on his feet, popped off a heal, and now he has to heal Gustav. This might be go time soon for Winstrike. They need to clear this out if they want to run, otherwise it's going to be mirrored. And NIP are just right next to the old Na'Vi boy, so very close here.
FaZe actually engaged Unity, but they did it in such a way that they were 2-2. This might have just completely... Oh, that's a big grenade, okay. Na'Vi, M19, both gone back to back.
NIP and nades, just don't do it.
Honestly, I think FaZe Clan just completely ruined themselves.
Yeah.
They decided to push Unity, but in a 2-2 formation, and now they've been split. Fuzzface and Uber.
Samty! Oh my word, Samty's made an appearance. Hello.
Stolen.
Blue's coming in. I think he might be dead in the water here. Just about gets in front of it. There is that little bit of a ridge. He can't make it there. Tixu avenges his fallen teammates, but look at the damage done. Down to just one man now, and all those eyes. They're certainly in the hills, and they're looking his way. Not safe at all. NIP have a closer step to this, and I think Tixu knows he's done for. He's fought hard, but you're not coming out from that northern side now. FaZe, Unity, and Reciprocity all in the south. Vitality still hold numbers in the compound.
So Rek did lose one player. Rafi's disengaged from the rest of his team, and 2 players are running head on into him. Could be the same scenario here where Unity just split the pack. They've already split up FaZe and forced them to disengage from this battle. Could they do the same? Rek will be up against it. If NIP have any kind of eyeline on them, they need to knock one and then just go for it, pelt it. I don't think there's anything less to those vehicles, to be honest, so. And we'll be running the open woods. However, the saving grace for Rek here will be if FaZe Clan distract Unity, draw their attention away, maybe even knock 1 or 2. This could play out interesting.
Maybe Tixu pulling a break. Unity.
Still don't let him get away with that from Gamescom, do you?
No.
F.
And NIP need to find their way out. They're still not safe yet either, and I think it's all eyes now turn on them. It could be a bit of a distraction. It could pay off. The MK again. Rafi just unleashing. And good couple of shots hitting there. It's VOD. I think he got taken pretty low in that situation. I think Miriku's still okay, but for how long? There's only so many times these smokes are going to keep him safe. Don't go out there. Oh no. Oh no, the pro. NIP are not having a great time. To be fair, Tixu might outlive NIP at this rate, which would be really impressive.
Rafi just clipping through the smoke.
Yeah, I think so.
And confirms him. Okay, 3 point to Rek. Winstrike goes down, 6th
nice
place.
try from Tixu. He could have almost out-healed NIP there. That would have been not bad.
He did what he could.
Yeah.
I'm still intrigued to see how this Unity battle goes down. They're in the middle of what's left of FaZe, essentially.
So I want to talk about Vitality real quick. What Jazz is doing, to me, is really nice. It gives them a pathway leading out of that compound because, again, eventually it will be high ground against you, and it's quite tricky to transition away from it. But having Jazza and Shadow pushing out a little early is going to give them at least step towards that hillside if they need it, because that's where the vast majority of these teams will be residing.
Rek have just been given a new crate.
What have they got? Anything decent?
I don't think it's dropped yet. It's only just come in. I mean, regardless, it's going to be level 3 gear.
Which is super useful at this point.
Rek are basically the problem for Vitality. There is only one way you go from that compound, and that's what you mentioned. They're leaving
before it lands.
Jazza and Shadow, you have to take that ridge because you can't.
Rek are pushing it.
Anywhere else you go, it's open water, right?
Yes, and Rek are on the push. Rafi's moved up there. They're not actually thinking about the crate drop. They probably haven't even seen it right now, if I'm honest. They're way more focused on this. And Jazza finding Dash Dish is a huge opener for Reciprocity. They can now move forward. These are the angles they were praying to have themselves, but it's never going to work out. Orange now has to put himself on a swivel. Shiv spots out Tizrin. That's a one-shot. If he landed it, he doesn't. But there's the trade back in. Natus is desperately seeming trying to help out the others here. Shiv does find Orange, and Unity are not in a good spot right now.
Kramer has turned up at the right time, and so has Nasus. Vitality is here just playing cleanup crew. The bloodbath continues. Rafi hits the deck. How much more damage can you do here? Unity have been split apart. FaZe is sat in the background just hoping and waiting. Makes it's all the way up against the circle. Keep an eye on that kill feed. Jazz is getting really close to him. Nasus finally onto Rafi. Rek's gone 4th place. Decent placement for them.
Show us. Mexi, he's about to engage. He didn't quite have the spray well enough. Shadow was there always to trade out anyway. So that was just, again, Vitality are playing this well. Sure, the circle's been very kind to them and the positions have been good, but now they've been caught out a little bit by Tizerin, but he's not safe yet. Has to just shift a little bit further forward. We still have ENCE in between them all. He's playing that little low ground ridge that runs just a little bit deeper towards the southeast. And the circle's moved away. Natus is safe. He's going to hold that. Now, Jazza has been picked up, so they're not without threat right now. They could make a mess of this, but I hope they don't because this is their game to win now.
Yeah, the #1 team this week so far across all the games average. This would only bolster that lead that they have. And again, much like ENCE, a team that wants to be avoiding and crawling the way out of relegation. It's certainly a possibility. You might not be able to make it to GLL. You might not be in the money for phase #2, but certainly you can at least confirm yourself for phase 3. That'll be the dream. Ending out the year with that one. It's certainly something. Circle, you can basically get ahead of everybody else and just watch them coming out.
And that just needs to be careful with ammo management at that point. You don't want to run out when you still have this many players against you. Vitality have disengaged from that hillside, pulled back around towards the north to supplement Natus' positioning. I don't know how much ground he has to work with in front of that, but again, they're playing with these thin trees. If they get a wide enough spread for Vitality, they should be able to cover the angles, and I think Blaston suffering off the back of that. Shadow still unleashing bullets. It's Crowd to find Blaston, and Unity are trying to run a very deadly gauntlet. ENCE's on the move as well, making the play. Silhouette's on the ridgeline, and he gets a lot of attention for it.
They still have this vehicle to work with should they want to move up closer. He's
got some
using
smokes.
all of his smokes. If he had a grenade, he could just bop it over towards Unity and bag a second place.
He's gone for the spray, and here's the engage. He actually might be able to steal a little bit of this if he gets it right.
Oh my god.
And he does steal it. Okay, easy for Vitality, surely. They're going to run it in. ENCE, be ready. Here they come. He's beeping. Natus is not being subtle. If he dies for this, it would make me so happy. But he won't. He'll be ENCE, surely in a world of danger. There's the nades coming out. There's the tags. Natus going to throw the 360 grenade for a little bit of style points. And Vitality needed it, and they just got it.
Natus at the end. Postal delivery service rocks up on time. Post the parcel, job done. There's the win on the board, and quite a few kills as well. I didn't quite catch how many there were in total. Certainly saw 6 coming out of one individual player. So 10 points minimum for the win. 6 plus whatever else the rest of the team got. Still a #1 spot for this week, and again, this is what they needed coming into this match. They were 15th place, 344. Teams above them, 337 rec. They went down a little bit earlier than them, but still a nice foothold of points.